Welcome to the Eagles Checkdown, the fastest under 10-minute Eagles podcast there is. Covering news, notes, and opinions on your favorite favorite football team, the Philadelphia Eagles, right here on the Eagles Pinpoll Podcast Network. I'm your host, Phil Stiefel, and you can find me on all social media platforms at Beard A Knowledge and hosting Trending in the AM on the STT Sports Network Monday through Friday at 8 a.m. There's a link to today's show down below. It is Friday, December 27th. It's just after Christmas, just before New Year's, and we're entering week 17 against the rival Dallas Cowboys. It is Kelly Green week, and I kind of feel like the Kelly Green, excitement is kind of toned down considering we were deflexed from a 4:25 primetime game to the 1 p.m. game. It's, kind of lost its luster without Jalen Hurts playing. Not that that's official, but we're going to get into that in a second. So let's get into all the news and all the happenings around the Philadelphia Eagles this week and how the Eagles lock up the NFC East and how they lock up the number 2 seed this week against the Dallas Cowboys. And it starts with the quarterback situation. Obviously, Jalen Hurts did not practice at all, wasn't even on the field with his teammates on Thursday. Kenny Pickett took all the snaps. Kenny Pickett said he will be fine. Kenny Pickett, with his ribs, was a full participant in practice on Thursday. They signed former Eagle practice squatter Ian Book to the practice squad, giving them a third quarterback, an emergency quarterback, in the scenario where Jalen Hurts doesn't play. But with the Ian Book signing, it pretty much solidifies to me that Jalen Hurts will not be available on Sunday. So the question is, can the Eagles win a game with Kenny Pickett as the starter? And I think it's an easy yes. There's a huge portion of Eagles social media and even some media members that want to see Tanner McKee start on Sunday, and I think they are completely insane. I know Kenny Pickett wasn't perfect against Washington last week, but coming in the middle of a game, in that scenario with no reps with the first string, no practice time with A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, I think he did a pretty serviceable job. Kenny Pickett has started games in the NFL. He has won games. He's got 14 wins in the last 2 years as a starter in the NFL. Tanner McKee has never taken a snap in a regular NFL season. And maybe I don't know ball, but everyone keeps saying Tanner McKee looked great in the preseason. Well, I got the numbers to tell you. He was 34 of 56, just over a 60% completion percentage. He threw for 294 yards, which was only a 5.3 yard per attempt. He threw no touchdowns and 1 interception in preseason work. Tanner McKee is not the answer. You need to win this week's game so that next week you can continue to rest Jalen Hurts, so you can rest A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith. You can rest Jalen Carter. You need to win this week to lock up the division, to lock up that number 2 seed. So you go with the proven commodity of Kenny Pickett. Is Kenny Pickett going to throw for 350 yards? No. But Kenny Pickett can do enough and can manage the game. You've got Saquon Barkley. You've got A.J. Brown. You've got a great defense. It's going up against Dallas, who still has Cooper Rush. And Dallas announced on Thursday that CeeDee Lamb is being shut down for the season, basically because they're tanking, but because he's got a shoulder issue. This team not just can win this game, should win this game easily with Kenny Pickett as the starter. So I just want to make sure that is clear. Kenny Pickett is the right choice to start for the Eagles. Now, if we go out there and we win on Sunday and the season's over and we don't have to worry about next week's game, sure, you want to get Kenny Pickett or Tanner McKee some starter reps in the regular season? Sure, you can do that next week when the game is meaningless. But this week, you go with the proven commodity, which is Kenny Pickett, against a Dallas defense that's 27th in the league in yards per game at 359 yards per game that they give up. They're the 21st pass defense. They're 30th in points given up a game, 27th ranked rush defense. This is a bad Cowboys defense. And they've checked out on the season already. Hell, I wouldn't be surprised if Micah Parsons doesn't play his normal amount of snaps this week. They've already shut down CeeDee Lamb. It won't be long until they shut down him as well. So, guys, Kenny Pickett is the right choice in this, I don't want to say must-win scenario, but this winning scenario that they need to get the win. Other news and things here, Jake Elliott was at practicing kickoffs. Obviously, Brady Mann, we saw how bad he was performing in the kickoff unit on this past week against Washington. He hasn't been great since he took over the duties, but he was extra bad last week, so maybe that's something to monitor. Jake Elliott might end up being your kickoff, your kicker on kickoffs this coming week. He might have that job back. Before I give you my Eagles-Cowboys prediction, a couple other little things I want to touch on real quick, not game-related. Jeff McClain on his Uncovering the Birds podcast brought up some Zach Ertz, Nick Sirianni scuffle post-game on Sunday against the Commanders. Obviously Eagles legend Zach Ertz, plays for Washington, and I guess there was a little brush up. But while we don't have video footage of Chauncey Gardner-Johnson's second personal foul that got him ejected, we do have video evidence that Jeff McClain was massively overreacting and trying to stir up drama where there isn't. And I know Nick Sirianni is a fiery personality. Now, everybody is jumping on Jeff McClain's report and saying Nick Sirianni's a clown. He's this and that. Nick Sirianni's a passionate guy. You've got the stoic personality of Jalen Hurts and the over-the-top personality of Nick Sirianni, and they're the perfect combination. And obviously, this was no big deal. It was literally no big deal. Zach Ertz said on Thursday, blown way out of proportion. Just an in-the-moment feelings thing. There's no problems there between the two of them. So, guys, move on. Don't worry about that. That is not a story like Jeff McClain wants to make it big. And obviously, I wanted to bring up and put out my prayers, thoughts, and condolences to the Berge family as Eagles legend Bill Berge passed away on Christmas after a long battle with cancer. So thoughts there. So it's Kelly Green. It's the Dallas Cowboys. Yo, let's win one. Let's lock up the division for Eagles legend Bill Berge. And I think they do it on Sunday, the Eagles. Real quick, the rest of the practice report from Thursday. A.J. Brown was a limited participant, as was Nakobe Dean and Josh Sweat. I expect all three of them to play. Everybody else practiced in full, obviously outside Jalen Hurts and Will Shipley, who are in concussion protocol. But I fully expect a majority of our team to be there and be available, get this win, then everybody of importance can rest next week. And I got the Eagles beating the Dallas Cowboys 24-9 without CeeDee Lamb, with Cooper Rush as your starting quarterback. This Dallas Cowboys team is done. They are checked out. They are booking their tee times. They are booking their trips to Cancun. They are planning their offseason right now. Eagles win 24-9, and it's not even that close theoretically. It's an easy, comfortable win. Saquon Barkley will go off. He is not going to get the record. He is going to be able to rest next week, which then will mean he won't get the record of breaking Eric Dickerson. And I don't think it matters at this point. All that matters is being healthy. I said it last week. Come out of the game healthy. We didn't. So now we've got to do it this week. We cannot, handle any more injuries at this point of the season as we embark on the playoffs. So get healthy, get the win. Eagles 24, Dallas Cowboys 9. We lock up the NFC East and the number 2 seed in the NFL, guys. This is my last Eagles checkdown of this year. I'll be away next week, getting ready for the Giants' final game. Shane will fill in as much as he can next week. I'll be on a little vacation. I'll be back after the Giants game on Monday, January 6th with my personal next episode. So I want to thank you guys for my first full season of doing this quickest under 10-minute Eagles podcast there is, the Eagles Checkdown. But I'll be back January 6th. Everybody have a happy new year. Go Birds. And as always, bubbles up.